Yeah, sure.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Billy and Joe Top 10 Show. We are your hosts. I am Billy. He is.
Hello, I'm Joe from Mars.
No, it's funny that you say Mars.
Uh-huh.
I could not name the 9 planets the other day, and then when I named Pluto, someone said, "What? That is officially not a planet anymore." Who decides
Yeah,
that?
they took that off the top 20 hit chart. Yeah,
Is that an act of Congress or a House of Commons or?
I think it was an active form of NASA. So yeah, now there's SpaceX. Isn't that nice? There's SpaceX and their private company.
It's and from what I understand, NASA and SpaceX, or NASA and these other people who want to go to space and want to kind of help with the financing of it, kind of are going a little bit of hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But Joe Carney, he is the host of Indy's Local Flavor. You can find it, just Google Indy's Local Flavor. You can find it on iTunes. He's heard all across America and in several different countries.
Mm-hmm.
His last show was
Tuesday. We talked about our top 21 cartoon characters. So, we did the whole Underdog Hour, Tennessee Tuxedo, and Forrest McBragg. It was great. And Tom Slick and
Yay.
Super Chicken. It was Rocky and Bullwinkle. It was great. Great stuff.
And here he is, Mr. Know-It-All.
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto. Think I might need a new hat.
You know what is, like I said, welcome to the Billy and Joe Top 10 Show. Joe Carney from Indy's Local Flavor. Find it on iTunes. We always started out with Joe giving us a little bit of an update because he is a NFL professional. I know very little. I know very little there is to know about the NFL. Only what Pat McAfee tweets.
McAfee. Right.
See, I can't even get the name right, man.
I met him,
and seems just like either a very drama guy or a very just to the point, honest guy. So, but Joe is our resident professional when it comes to the NFL and some current events that are happening, and especially in Indiana and in the sports world. And yesterday, Joe, before you get started, I saw that somebody was watching the Colts on a preseason football game. So I guess tell me a little bit about what happened yesterday. How are the Colts changing? And give us your current event and NFL roundup.
I'm glad he asked me that. A buddy of mine, John H., asked me if I wanted to go to Colts camp Friday. And I said, of course. Went over there in Westfield. They have a beautiful practice facility over there, and they have air-conditioned bathrooms, which is a big plus for me. So went over there. The stadium was packed out with fans. Panthers fans showed up, Colts and Panthers. I'm walking in there with me and my buddies, and you'll never guess who comes out of the media tent. Steve Smith, the famed receiver of the Carolina Panthers, walks out of the media tent, and he's with the NFL Network now. He was in perfect shape. I went up and said hello. I said, how the Panthers looking this year? And he said, we'll find out today. So that was really fun. So how it looked in camp. Eason, their third year quarterback, I think, backup, looked good. And I forgot to write that guy's name down. Michael S., number 17, the receiver, rookie, can catch everything in his zip code. He was straight money, even during the game. There was during the game, the third or fourth running back, Benny something, got penalized because he breaks through like 4 Carolina Panthers guys, and he's really hyped up, and he throws the ball and it spins on the ground. He's like pounding his fists and everything, and he got a taunting call. And I'm like, really? That's a taunting call now? So I don't get that. But anyway, Eason looked okay. He doesn't have the clock in his head. He doesn't have the 6-second clock in his head. And at training, you wear the red jerseys when you're a quarterback. And if he was in a regular game, he would have got blown up. But Erlinger, the rookie out of Georgia, was money. He's clocking his head. He's got the time down. He hit the receivers in stride. So if they don't go with Nick Foles, which who knows, and if Rivers doesn't come back, I think Erlinger, because they're rotating. Eason started preseason game 1, Erlinger starting preseason game 2, so they're splitting the quarterbacks. Reich is splitting the quarterbacks here. So I think Erlinger, if they don't go out and get anybody after the final cut of preseason, that Erlinger is going to play against the Seattle Seahawks for the dawning challenge.
Hey, is that Eason thing? Is that is that any relation to Tony Eason, that was the quarterback of the Patriots?
I have no idea. I would think so. I don't know for a fact. So I can check that out for next time. So.
Yeah, I only remember Tony Eason. I think they got demolished by the Bears.
Right, in '85. Do you want me to do the preseason breakdown?
Oh, sure.
I didn't do the whole thing. I just did the major teams and some of the teams that affect the Colts. And it's preseason, so it's they're trying to look at who's going to make the squad. Titans beat the Falcons. Bears beat the Dolphins. Chiefs beat the Niners. The Raiders beat the Seahawks. First game with actual fans in Allegiant Stadium out there in Vegas. I guess that was a fun time. Texans beat the Packers. Definitely a preseason game. And the Colts beat the Panthers. If you're looking for something to watch for football wise, the Cowboys are on Hard Knocks on HBO Max. So.
Did I also see that we have a Frisbee football team?
I don't know that. I don't know that answer.
Man, I promise you, I saw Naptown or Indy something, and it was Frisbee football, man. And I was like,
I'm all for that. Go
I'm
for
like,
it.
am I really did the ESPN, the Ocho really come to be?
Why not? Go for it. We need some more things to do here. Sure.
Now, one thing that you haven't gotten to, which I'm sure is on your list, but I'm kind of excited to get to, is the Malice in the Palace.
That's up next. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to give it away, so I'll just give the adjectives of what I thought about it, and then I'll add because everybody knows how this ends. This isn't a surprise ending, and I'm going to add my little piece of what I think they missed. But anyway, every Pacer fan remembers where they were on November 19th, 2004. I didn't see the game. My brother called me and said, turn on ESPN right now. And that normally doesn't happen with my brother. So it's called Unsolved by the Way Brothers, which I didn't know. If you subscribe to The Atlantic, which is the new sports column that Bob Kravitz writes for, not free, but great stuff, but not free. Bob Kravitz interviews the Way brothers about this documentary, The Malice in the Palace, on Netflix. Riveting, intense, gut-wrenching documentary. The quote from Steven Jackson says, "You guys can interview me. You guys better be recording this stuff. You guys can interview about me one more time, and that's it."
And I'm not talking about this again.
Correct. So that was about the faithful date on 11/14/2004, which would change the Pacers franchise for the next 10 years. The only thing go ahead.
No, okay.
Okay. The only thing I think they missed which I followed Jermaine O'Neal because I think he was the executive producer. I followed Jermaine O'Neal on Instagram, and I put this message on there, and I said, I love the documentary. The only thing that I think you missed is the interview with Al Harrington and what he said if he was still on the team at that time. But outside of that, 9.5 out of 10. They nailed it. They got all the camera angles, slow-moed it down, nailed it. So it's a must-watch for any Pacers fan. Must watch. And my brother hated it.
Well, if you guys know anything about me, my wife, who does not like sports or is not really interested, came into the room one time while I was watching Hoosiers again and said, how can you guys watch this stuff over and over? So this tells you what kind of sports fan she is. She watched it.
Yeah.
And was interested and was immersed in it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But I went into it knowing what was going to happen and being a Pacer fan, but I forgot about how good they were.
I remembered all of that except for I'm going to give this away a little bit, but we know the story. I mean, it's not a surprise. I remembered everything about that except for the chair and how close that chair was. So I was like, wow.
Bob's nodding his head in the back. The chair.
Bobby knows chairs.
The chair. The chair. Right. Hey, I've got a joke for you.
Sure.
But we're just play along.
Okay.
I had a friend, Bob, who doesn't have any arms.
I've heard this one. Go ahead. Okay.
Now back to Netflix. No, wait. Sorry. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not Bob.
Not Bob who?
Not Bob, because Bob wasn't knocking because he don't have no arms. Not Bob either. Okay.
I do the drum roll and knock my camera off. Great.
Thank you, Quest. Thank you, Questlove.
Thank you. You're more than welcome. Oh, that's funny.
Thank you, Joe, for laughing at my stuff.
Anytime.
Or this could be your side. Thank you, Billy, for not preparing me for that no arm Bob knock joke.
No, I thought you were going to do this. I thought you were going to do the skip joke.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy with no arms, no legs when he's water skiing.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and the guy with no arms and no legs on the front door is Matt.
Yes, correct. The good old elementary school jokes, yes.
The guy with no arms and no legs on the wall
is Art.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Indianapolis Colts and Art Schlichter, I bet. No. Hey, but the Malice in the Palace, you guys all know my opinion on the Indiana Pacers. Thank God we won 3 ABA titles with the ABA. The ABA teams could regularly beat an NBA team. So I feel like they're legit titles, but I just don't see the Indiana Pacers winning a world championship. And it's disappointing for them being around as long as they have and for not representing the state of Indiana, which it goes hand in hand with the word basketball or the definition of basketball or what state you think about with basketball. And our professional basketball team does not have an NBA title. It's just embarrassing, and I give up. And I know I gave up on the Colts, but they ended up winning a Super Bowl in 2007. But right. I have literally given up on the Indiana Pacers and them possibly winning a NBA title. And I know we have fans out there. You can call me a fair weather fan if you want, but and I know there's diehard fans out there, but it's just my opinion.
Well, and Donnie Walsh is in this documentary, and he says some very, very, very interesting things that were long overdue. He does. So, and if you haven't seen this, it's still out there on Netflix, The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan version of the Chicago Bulls. And there's some interesting stuff with the Pacers in there as well. Very interesting stuff. So, yeah, if you're looking for some basketball on Netflix, yeah, there's some definitely good options out there for you.
I've always thought that Reggie Miller's volatility lost us an NBA title against Michael Jordan. But
you can make an argument for that, sure.
And I have always said that we would have played the Portland Trailblazers if someone didn't want Portland in the finals because of how small of a market they are and how it would have affected the margin or the advertising dollars. And that's why we got the Lakers and we got beat in one of our better opportunities to win a title.
Don't get me started on David Stern. Don't even get me started.
Oh, who get the vote? What do you say on this Malice in the Palace? The vote was 1-0.
Yeah.
Don't be so stern about it, David.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, but what was it again? Is it Untold?
Untold, the Malice in the Palace.
Yeah, and next we have Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. That'll be a
no, I refuse.
You know, there's a great photo. There's a great photo, and I'm not being political. I'm not going anywhere with this, but there's a great photo of Howard Cosell.
I've seen that one.
And on the left is OJ, and on the right is Bruce, and Howard is telling us, and you could just hear it in Howard Cosell's voice. You're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you is going to happen to this guy on my left and this guy on my right so many years from now.
No. Howard says, I've been to the future.
Yeah, okay.
Believe what I've seen.
Very cool. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. What else you got, Joe? Anything else?
Yes, I do. If you have streaming media and you're a comedic person, I was flipping around last night and I could not believe how funny this guy was. It is his name is Anthony Jeselnik, Geselnik, and he's in the comedy section. If you flip around there, and just by the title, you can kind of tell how sharp he is. Fire in the Maternity Ward. It's the name of his stand-up. And he's a Stephen Wright disciple. He's like a clone. I love Stephen Wright, but he's extremely funny, but he's really salty. So his first joke, language-wise, is an uppercut to the chops. Bang, Richard Pryor, uppercut to the chops. But after that first joke, it's extremely smart, funny, cutting edge, very good comedy. I never heard this guy before. Really funny. I think you'll enjoy it if you like that style of comedy.
What's his name again?
Anthony Jeselnik.
Okay.
Also, if you have Apple TV, I've been watching Watch the Music. That there's a topic every week that they do. This week was distortion. It's about a distortion with Mark Ronson, and he interviews Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters. And I'll give you a little teaser. Mark asked Dave what his first distortion song that he ever heard when he was a kid, and he said Frankenstein by Edgar Winters. So that's what did it for him. And if you have Disney Plus, they have come out with a new series, and I'm like, Disney, you better get it right, because this comic book was amazing. It's the What If series with the Watcher, and they do an alternative universe, and it's not Captain America. It's a Captain Carter becomes. They don't call her Captain Britain, which she's from England, so they call her Captain Carter. It was really well done, and Steve Rogers is still in this alternate universe. He's still a hero, but he's not the main guy. So
I watched 5 minutes and thought, what if they would have done this differently? What if Marvel was took on DC and I was going to watch it, but then it started out and I'm like, well, I tried it. So
That's fair. I get it.
The best thing to subscribing to that bundle is that it's a fantastic babysitter for the grandkids.
Yes, it is.
Plus me, because I'm 3 years old mentally anyhow.
I'm 3.5 years old, as Bugs Bunny would say.
I'd be amiss if I didn't also talk about, the today, 47 years ago, 44 years ago, 1977, August 16th, 1977, Elvis Presley died.
Yeah.
August 16th, 1958, Madonna was born.
Yes, I saw your post.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So,
Very nice.
Right place, right time, talent, luck. We can talk about that in another show. But I think Madonna has not kept her name out there like she had for years and years and years. Like Cher still has name recognition, or there's some chutzpah, or there's some weight to it. But Madonna's kind of let it slide a little bit. Does Madonna even want her name out there? Is Madonna in the middle of counting $100 bills? So,
yes.
Billy, I'm Madonna. I don't give a crap about what you say.
Correct. She didn't ask us.
No, she didn't. Yeah. Who asked you, man? That would be a great name of a show. Who asked you?
No one.
What would it say, Joe Piscopo? Week 4 NFL strike. Who cares?
Right.
Well, Joe has a top 10 today.
Yes.
+1, and Billy didn't do his homework. Billy was doing an interview with Walter Jordan, who has a new book out called Gracefully Broken, a Hall of Famer's true story. It sounds like a really good book. Walter Jordan, a former Purdue Boilermaker, played for the Cleveland Cavaliers for 1 year. Great guy, great approachable. 1974 Indiana High School basketball state champion with Fort Wayne Northrop Bruins. The school was only 3 years old when they won the state championship. So what a story that is. He didn't have any scholarship offers except one 4 weeks before the state tournament, and then they ended up winning the state tournament at Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, and all of a sudden he had a box full of letters. That's what used to be single class basketball, and going to Indiana high school basketball games were all about for coaches and scouts and stuff like that. And it's really totally changed. Mm-hmm. But that was a long excuse.
Yeah, Mrs. McGillicuddy wants you after class.
Did I ask for validation? Because that's one thing I learned from this interview was I'm not going to look for validation anymore. And Joe Piscopo right now is going, who cares? As he's pumping iron.
Yeah. He was a good second straight man to Eddie Murphy.
I am black and you are white. You are blind in the back, and I have sight.
Right, yes. He did decent Sinatra.
Nobody. Somebody slapped me. My mom slapped me. Once. Just once. Johnny Dangerous.
For watching Benny Hill late at night.
Man, I want to go into the song.
All right.
Do we want to go ahead and go into our topic?
I actually have 12. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do top biographies. I've got 7. This is the Billy 7-11 special. Joe has 11 + 1 for 12, and I have 7. Okay. And man, just because of the politically correct environment today, I could not tell my next joke about 7-11. So
sure you can. You can say the famous Simpsons character.
Yeah. Abu.
Yes, one of my favorites.
Abu. The guy who did Abu's voice was fantastic in the Birdcage, by the way.
When he won the Powerball ticket and left his family.
Yeah, Abu. Okay, so we are doing the top biographies of all time.
Yes.
And I'm going to let Joe go first.
I don't normally do this, but this one's personal. That's my aunt
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
in Atlanta. She did a book. It's on Amazon. Decoding Her Family. She's a big psychologist in Atlanta. If you want to check out your family dynamic and how your family would tick or react with each other and why, and you're into psychology, this is a good book to check out. You know, I'm not trying to plug it. If you like psychology and you're interested in your family dynamic, check out it's Lane Carney Gibson, Decoding Your Family, keys to understanding your family dynamics and how your family impacts you. My brother did the illustration on it, Ben Carney. So that's my number 12.
Oh, very cool. I have I was a history major at Indiana State University, and a lot of my lists are historical biographies, and a lot of them are presidential biographies. And one of my favorites is just because my grandfather got it for me. He's one that kind of took me down that historical path. Is Truman by David McCullough.
Oh, Truman was great guy.
The buck stops here, and bam, bam, the World War II is over because they used nuclear weapons and brought it into the war very quickly. But Truman, fascinating book, great author.
Mine is mostly sports and music, but I couldn't find it, and I've got a bunch of books in storage, but I've got a really good book about Robert Kennedy, and he was really the main engine behind John, and talked about that, and really fascinating book on how the inner workings of DC worked during Camelot. So it was an interesting book.
With Richard Harris? Oh, no, Camelot. Okay.
Yeah.
With
it was Robert Kennedy. It wasn't
June 4th, if I'm not mistaken, June 4th, 1968. So that's we don't chat about what we're going to talk about on our lists until we are on air. And we, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was April 4th for Martin Luther King Jr. And then, and of course, Bobby Kennedy is the one that announced that Martin Luther King was shot and killed. And then, of course, by Sirhan, Robert Kennedy was shot in June of 68. Good stuff. I love history. I love learning about the past. So I try not to repeat it, although I'll need to get that psychology book that you just showed from your aunt, because I don't practice what I preach, nor do I'd like to repeat history, I guess, according to my third wife.
I don't know if you knew. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Rosie Greer was security for Bobby Kennedy, and he had a singing group that was a minor hit. And if you can find that on record, that's worth some serious dollars. But when Sirhan shot Kennedy, Rosie Greer snatched that gun out of his hand in one move, and his hands are like huge. So, he like grabbed him and snatched the gun out of his hand in one move. So
my dad had a book on the assassination and everything surrounding it and everything. It's still pretty tough to take today, much less.
Oh yeah, definitely. So am I up? I'll go again. I don't have his original book. His original book is Lecrae Unashamed, Christian hip hop artist. He's now a multi-millionaire, owns his own record label. This is I Am Restored, great book as well, but his book Unashamed is really good. And he's toured the country and the world many times. Great, great, great artist that not a lot of people know about, unfortunately.
And did he write that himself?
No, he did not.
I was looking for a loophole to go ahead and pull the stack of books I have all here, but they're autobiographies. So that loophole was just slammed shut like Harry S. Truman on World War II.
I do have one autobiography, but everything else is the biography. This is going to be your favorite, Billy. Showtime. By Jeff Pearlman. Let's see, the Dynasty of the 1980s. So I figured you would.
If I had to come back with something like that, this is just as good.
I love Uncle Scrooge. I love him.
This was a prop that wasn't put out here to be a prop. My wife told to put this up for the grandkids. You know, the grandkids are just going to color in it and put it in the trash.
Right. Damage the crap out of it. Yes.
Yeah, man. You used to get these for a dime.
Yeah.
And oh no, that's the wrong way. That way. So I can combat you with that.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. When March went, I can't see it that well.
It says when March went mad.
I can just see the title. I can't see the rest.
Seth Davis.
Okay, gotcha. Magic and
Irvin
Bird.
Magic
Okay.
Johnson and the Michigan State Spartans 25-6 versus Larry Bird and the Indiana State University Sycamores.
That's
33 and
that's still the most watched basketball game of all time.
Yeah, Larry Bird.
Yeah. My next one, number 9. The reason why I got Apple TV. There you go.
Ah, nice.
By Michael Diamond and Adam Horowitz. Basically, it's the Beastie Boy experience and a tribute to Adam Young, MCA.
It gives you the right.
Yes. So fantastic book. If you don't have Apple TV and you're a reader, this is the same thing they put on the documentary. So,
man, you got your stuff in hand's length. Let me see if I can get another thing.
Sure.
In hand's length here. And I can. It's not really an autobiography because it's with Rick Hill, but it's Pete Rose, My Prison Without Bars with Rick Hill, which is a very good transcriber. So I call him a biographer.
I love Pete Rose.
So do I.
Love Pete Rose. I met Pete Rose and George Foster in Castleton. A great experience with my son. Great day.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. And we have our his and winning the Indiana or the AMC Pacer.
Right.
Yeah.
Outside of my faith, right? If I do quotes from somebody and it's not Alfred Hitchcock,
Toby Mac,
this guy.
Oh,
so I do a lot of Toby Mac, but I don't have his book. I've never even seen him put out a book, but yeah, it's this guy. There is a ESPN 30 for 30 be water. That means pretty much be flexible. This guy right here, Bruce Lee, the Dragon, where he kicks Chuck Norris Butte in Rome. Way of the Dragon, I think.
Yes. Good choice.
Thank you.
MU. Well, I'm going back in my list. I'm going back, and I know this is it's by David McCullough again. I'm not getting endorsed by David McCullough, but Adams, which is about the second president of the United States, first vice president of the United States. A great series on HBO, by the way, played by Paul Giamatti, who is Bart Giamatti's son. And Bart Giamatti was the commissioner of baseball who put the lifetime ban on Pete Rose.
Okay.
Did you know that?
They really go after John Adams on Hamilton. But that's Hamilton and Jefferson who went after Adams in that play. But yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I never knew that.
It's interesting that you say that, but I'm going to let you go to your next one.
Okay.
My favorite Got Milk commercial is where the guy calls up the radio station and he has a mouthful of peanut butter, and they wanted to know who was in the duel with Alexander Hamilton.
Aaron Burr.
And he couldn't win those 2 tickets from WZPL. Apple is on middle name 99.5 Indianapolis, Indiana.
Right. The Hot 9 at 9.
But oh my gosh.
With Adam Smasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last name really been Ruby.
Or Jack Ruby.
Okay, Lee Harvey, what's your next one?
Okay, Oswald Mickey Mouse. Seen him live twice. My favorite hip hop artist of all time. Rakim swept the technique. So I'll give you a little teaser with him. His style of rhyming is unique. And the reason why it's unique is I never knew this either. He was in band in high school and really loved band in high school where he played the alto saxophone and really loved jazz music. So he's got the jazz brain, and that's how he composes his rhymes. And that's why he doesn't sound like anybody else. And he's still, he's still recording. He still tours locally in New York, but he doesn't make enough top 10 lists because they're busy putting Lil Wayne on there. I saw that on social media and I'm like, get out of town, dude. But great book. Really smart guy, really amazing artist. My favorite hip hop artist of the time, Rakim, Sweat the Technique.
It's just not my avenue of music. And we chatted about, just to let you guys know, just a little earlier, we're going to do a show on what the most influential year in our lifetime was of music. And then we're going to tell you the top 10 reasons why we feel that it was so influential. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of hip hop, R&B, or rap artists on your list within your year.
Yes.
So
you might be surprised. You might be surprised though.
Oh yeah, you'll be surprised at my year too.
Okay.
It's an interesting thing to think of, and if you're watching now, ponder that for a little bit. It's really weird how there's some year, drugs and alcohol aside, there's some years I don't remember because I was doing other stuff besides drugs and alcohol. But
purple haze.
Yeah. Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
My next one probably is a lot of people's number one, but it's Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson.
Man,
sorry.
That guy changed the game. Really changed the game. I saw that movie. I don't remember who played Steve Jobs though. Saw that movie in the theater. Really, really, really good. He was a narcissist, big time narcissist, but he was a genius. So, especially what he did with his daughter, but he was really truly an American genius without a doubt. and he totally changed the game. And he didn't back down from anybody, which, you know, I admire that. So, my number 6, I don't have with me, but, and it's the same thing, same theme for my next 3 picks. Sorry, Mom. Badasses, Madden's Raiders of the 70s by Peter Richmond. Fantastic book.
The Raiders.
It talks about all the character names and what they did at training camp, and you know, how they connected with the community and the close games. Really good book if you're a football person.
If you want to go back to before, man, his name is Ron. Man, you just look it up, you'll find it. But his first name is Ron. Sorry, Ron. I can't read my own handwriting. It was during one of those years where I don't remember any of the music. No, Alexander Hamilton's biography of Alexander Hamilton would be years before all the hype and the Broadway and Manuel Noriega. No, that was the Panama.
I think it's Lin-Manuel something.
Yes, I'm joking. At least I have you in my mind and thinking about you. There's always some kind of names where somebody will say something, you'll be like, oh, okay. Like, for example.
Okay.
Andre Bocelli.
Man, so tragic.
That's how I remember his name is Andre
Bocelli.
I want a bowl of chili.
Exactly.
I want a bowl of chili. In Texas, they don't have macaroni in your bowl of chili. Andre Bocelli, I guess is his name. Blind singer and a fantastic singer. But
you're showing your Sycamore roots there.
Yeah, bowl chili. Skyline bowl chili.
That's funny. My number 5, I wish I had the original. But I did find this. Final Confessions of an NFL Assassin, the story of Jack Tatum. He would hit people and knock them into next week, by Bill Keshner. And this pulls no punches. He played for Ohio State for Woody Hayes, where Woody Hayes pulled no punches. And he applauded tough, no hard-nosed football. You got his autograph?
Yeah.
Good pick. Nice. So you're mailing that to me, right?
Of course, it says to Samantha. It says to Samantha. I'll put a comma on it. It's to Samantha Joe. Okay. That's him.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
You remember Bob Lilly?
Of course. Yeah. Great defenseman.
I thought I had one other Raider in here. Let me see if I have another Raider. Let me see here. Survey says I do not. These are all signed at the Reno Hilton.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
George Atkinson.
Yeah.
The Hitman.
I guess what's his face was 42 and George was 43.
Yes. George Atkinson was the one that Chuck Noll called the criminal element. Took him into court.
All right, so that's where kind of I think you were just number 5, right?
Yes.
I'm going to let you do a few because
okay.
My next one, go ahead, do a couple here before.
Okay, sure. The Legendary Life of Ken Stabler, Snake. Now, you have this original book. I don't know if this is a reprint or what. If you have this original book from the 70s, it's worth stupid fat cash. Snake by Mike Freeman. Outstanding book. And he played for Alabama, played high school in Alabama. He came after Joe Namath. He was third stringer for the Raiders. And then I don't want to tell you how all that happened, but he was the third stringer for the Raiders for a long time. And something changed where he became the starter, and then they never looked back. Fantastic football book.
Was Jake LaMotta quarterback before Stabler was? Am I wrong or am I right? What's your chuckle?
Harold LaMonica.
Oh, sorry.
Jake LaMotta, the exercise guy. Really?
You know why I said that? Because no. Once again, you showed me the snake, and I thought of Jake the Snake Roberts from WWF.
From the top belt, baby. Woo!
Hold on, Ricky the Steamboat Dragon has asked me a question.
Superfly Snooker.
Oh man, you know who anniversary of the death is today, man? Oh man, the honky tonk man. You know what I'm saying, man? Oh.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have this one, but mandatory reading for any Pacers fan. Reborn by Mark Monteith, the genius.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And speaking of that, let me go ahead. And I know we're not doing this particular one, but since we're going to go down that road, also we changed the game.
Nice.
1967 to 68. How a new league, a small group of dreamers, and some amazing situation changed the culture of a city and the face of basketball forever. And I am very happy to say that I am a friend of Nedalicki, and he autographed the book for me. So
nice.
You want to talk about basketball with Bob Nedalicki, though? Make sure to have 3 days in a row.
Do you know the story of the Dallas Chappelles and how all that changed to the Spurs?
Yeah, and how he played in both games. Played on one side and played on the other.
I'm talking about the team in general. I'm not talking about the players.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. So you know about why they changed colors, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But tell the folks.
Sure. The Dallas Chappelles were moving to San Antonio, and the Dallas Chappelles were red, white, and blue. And they moved to San Antonio. They wanted a total redo of everything. And so what they decided to do is they decided to go to black and gray because the owner was a fan of the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, yeah. I forgot a couple of steps of that.
Yep, and that's why the Spurs are black and gray. So
I thought you were telling the story of how the Pacers played the Spurs.
Right.
The game was it Neto? The game was suspended. Neto was playing for the Spurs. Then when the game resumed, Neto had been traded back to the Pacers. And he is in there for the Pacers at scoring and for the Spurs at scoring. That's just an interesting tidbit.
Nice.
Bob Nedalicki also played in the first ever game between the Houston Rockets and San Antonio Spurs against Rudy T, who was on the Houston Rockets.
Rudy T was a great player, and I love the book The Punch by who's that author?
Kermit Washington? I'm sorry, John Feinstein.
Yes, fantastic fan.
Yeah,
and quote from Rudy T was, "It felt like the scoreboard fell on his head."
Yeah, and it's amazing how forgiveness has come about from that. And and believe it or not, Kermit Washington's in prison.
What?
Yeah, he's in prison not for that, but for some other illegal scam that he did. So I'll have to look it
Okay.
up, or somebody Google it, just like you can Google Joe Carney and Indy's Local Flavor.
I'm not in prison.
Well, okay, man.
Am I up next?
Yeah.
One of my favorite books of all time. I read it in 3 days at Ball State. Good movie by Spike Lee. Not as good as the book, of course. I was talking with a coworker who's a millennial, I think, at the old office space. And I said, wow, you really need to go read this book. And the coworker said, I'm sorry, I don't really read books. And I'm like, what? And they said, sorry, I really don't read books. And I said, no. Okay, so you don't read books and you're on your phone all the time, and you claim to be an intellectual? And I walked away. So the book I was referencing, one of my top 3 of all time, The Autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley. Game changer, total transformation of a guy that changed his life, and because he changed his life and went against the norm, he died for his cause.
That's very interesting. You know, you talk about someone who doesn't say, I don't read books. It's like someone telling me, well, I don't watch TV. Well, baloney, you don't want to tell me you watch TV. Everybody watches some TV. Everybody's got a guilty pleasure. And don't tell me you don't watch. Well, I don't watch TV. Well, don't make me feel bad for watching TV because you watch TV. I know that makes no sense to anything.
Well, I don't watch the news. I seriously don't watch the news. Seriously.
Dude, I don't either. I don't either.
I mean, unless it's like stupid snow and ice and freezing rain up here. Yeah, I don't watch the news. So.
Man, I think I just threw away my list. Doggone it. Man,
you need to fire your producer again.
You're fired. I think that's crazy, man. Okay, I got it back now.
We only got 2 picks left, brother.
I'm being serious.
2 picks left.
I'm being serious. James Monroe, The Quest for National Identity.
Huh? Oh, James Monroe.
James Monroe.
Gotcha. Yeah, the guy who wrote the Declaration of Independence, right?
I think he signed it. I don't. That was Thomas Jefferson.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me. I got it right here.
Dude, you gotta see Hamilton. If you're a history guy, you gotta see Hamilton, because there's a really good exchange between Monroe and Hamilton and how they hammer all that out.
I don't remember which one it was. I have not been able to find truth of this. But I remember being told this, and that is that it was either Madison or Monroe's home was also architectured by Thomas Jefferson.
I believe so.
And in the back of the house, when you go through, it's either Monroe or Madison. I'm sorry, I get them confused. Dolly Madison, James Monroe, donuts. I don't know.
Yes, please.
Charlie
No,
Brown,
I can't have
chocolate
that anymore.
pies. Yeah. But when you went to what was the name of Jefferson's property? Monticello. Yeah. When you go to Monroe or Madison's house across the farm, Jefferson also architectured that house. And when you go out the back door, the door is only 5 foot tall, the doorway or the door frame, and you have to bend down. And the people who were doing the tour said it was for Monroe or Madison, who were either and both good friends of Jefferson, you would have to bow down to Monticello when you came out the back door. So it was like saying that Thomas Jefferson is the king.
No surprise. He had a super big ego in the show
yeah.
too.
Yeah, we could have story upon story with that.
Yeah. The Jefferson character makes the show. He really makes the show.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Let me see if my wife wants to watch that. She's watched it once before. I'll see if she wants to watch it.
Yeah, just break it up into 2 nights, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
So
What number was that for you?
That was number 2. I'm ready for number 1.
Well, wait.
Okay.
If it feels like leather, shoot it. All American Life of Roger Kaiser by Richard Hyatt.
By Hugh Hefner.
And, Roger Kaiser, a great guy from Dale, Indiana, was Georgia Tech's first All-American. He'll get a kick out of that. He is a very good man. So he has nothing to do with Hugh.
Or Elmer Fudd. Feels like leather, shoot it. Elmer Fudd, yes.
All right, man. What's your number 1?
They had the 50th anniversary, and I didn't find out about it till later, or I would have went, because I have to get this guy's autograph. Dr. J, baby. Carl Taro Greenfield. Amazing, amazing, amazing book. Didn't make the Olympic team. Got lucky and got a scholarship to Massachusetts. Played at Rucker Park. A force in the ABA that games were never recorded. Should have won more titles in the NBA. Amazing book. If you're a basketball fan, this is a must read all day long.
Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan.
Yeah, precisely.
The original Michael Jordan.
I was describing, as a matter of fact, I was describing the Dr. J move that he did in air, where he went exactly when he was inbounds, went behind the goal. Kareem tried to block it. Another guy, Laker, tried to block it, and he went behind the goal in the air and flipped it back off the backboard for the score, and he was floating in air.
The reason why Michael Cooper is known. That's who he did it on. Okay, so, and I know you love Dr. J. So I'm a homer.
Yes. Correct.
I'm from Indiana.
Yes.
Do you remember Howard Caldwell from WRTV Channel 6?
Oh, he was great. Sure.
Did you know that he wrote a book?
I did not.
Tony Hinkle,
okay.
Tony Hinkle,
Yes.
the namesake for Hinkle Fieldhouse, located in Indianapolis, Indiana,
Right.
At Butler University, home of the Butler Bulldogs.
Right.
Hinkle Fieldhouse used to have a seating capacity of 14,000. Now it's down to 8,000 because of greed and corporate money. But this is Tony Hinkle, coach for all seasons by Howard Caldwell.
Nice.
Fantastic book. I didn't know that Howard Caldwell was a basketball fan. I didn't know he tells you about Tony Hinkle like you played for Tony Hinkle and like you know Tony Hinkle. And he's also tells a story like some of the players that I've interviewed on Keeping the Nostalgia Alive .podbean.com and some interviews on this YouTube channel that you're watching say that Tony Hinkle was like to play for. So that's my number 1.
Nice. Good choice.
So we don't say this at the beginning. We'll say this at the end. You're probably turning us off or hitting pause or your thing is buffering.
But the AOL dial-up.
Yeah, you got mail. There's a snake in my boot.
Somebody poisoned the water hole. Oh, I have a voice for you. Can I do it for you?
Oh, sure.
And tell me if you can name the character. Simon Says Shrink.
Baron Bond Sinister?
Simon Bart.
Simon. Hey.
Yes.
Simon Le Bon, Duran. Simon,
Hungry like the
know.
wolf. Yeah, hungry like the wolf.
Yeah,
I do have I do have a story from watching the music. They did distortion on one episode. I don't want to totally give it away, but Mark Ronson's favorite song was Save a Prayer. And the reason why he loved that song so much is he thought the distortion from Save a Prayer was from humpback whales mixed with the Millennium Falcon.
Smells like Teen Spirit to me. What is that called, by the way? Jay Leno's Garage?
Yes.
A great episode with Weird Al Yankovic.
I love Al. Love Al.
Yeah. So it's no checks made out to Billy and Joe Top 10 show. Please follow us, subscribe to us, like us, whatever the new trend is to do to see what we're doing on Facebook, the Billy and Joe Top 10 show.
Pay
us. Also check us out. We haven't done a lot on the YouTube channel, but the Keeping the Nostalgia live show, you'll find the Billy and Joe Top 10 show along with other nostalgic shows. There's even a piece on Keeping the Nostalgia live show on YouTube on Dr. J's last All-Star appearance. I don't know if you've seen that or looked at that.
Huh.
I found his last All-Star appearance. I found a clip.
That would have been 80. So. That was 85. Or 86.
I think 85.
Yeah. Because Barkley took over.
Yeah. So, but that is biographies. Like we said, next week we're going to do the most influential year of music in our life, own personal lives, and our reasons why. There may be 10, there may be 20, there may be 20 plus 1, there may be 10, there may be 10 plus 1. You never know with Joe. I guess I could have rapped. Now I see why I'm just jealous other people can and I can't.
Man, you either got the gift or you don't.
I don't.
I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy being.
Don't come on, Kermit.
You know. Yeah, Kermit was a pimp, wasn't he?
Well, he was, wasn't he? Oh man, Joe, what do you got to say before we end the show?
Let's see. What do I have to say before we end the show? If you're looking for some more comedy in your life, he's really out of bounds, but he's really funny. If you have HBO Max and you're looking to laugh, Totally Out of Bounds, Total Narcissist. His name is Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Really, really, really funny comedy if you need some comedy in your life.
And also, like Joe and I are going to do for the next episode of the Billy and Joe Top 10 show, think about the most influential year in your life and think about the music that was within that year and think of why your top reasons for why that music was so influential in your life or what was going on in your life for those to be so influential, and the lyrics and the riffs and the hooks that we heard. I'm Billy.
And hey, I'm Joe.
And we will see you next time on the show.
Hasta luego.
We'll be back.